So we were talking about the 6 factors that make afflictions arise. We finished the first 5. Can you remember them? Seed, object, inappropriate attention, detrimental influence or bad friends, verbal stimuli or media, and this one, habit. Yeah. Well, habitual thinking and habitual action, both of them. Yeah. But we see this one a lot. I mean, we're so much creatures of habit, and it's very interesting, to trace in your meditation, especially, since we've been having teachings on karma recently, to see what kind of actions we do habitually and what kind of mental attitudes we habitually have. And it's really remarkable, when you start to see the patterns in your life and how much you run on automatic. Okay? So some people, the moment somebody says something in the teeniest way critical, or maybe they're not even critical, they're just giving some feedback that isn't, what you wanted to hear. You wanted praise or something, and they're saying, well, improve this or improve that. Then our habit, some people habit, people don't appreciate me. They just don't appreciate me. Or other people's habit, I can't do anything right. I'm wrong. Again, I can't do anything right. Other people's habit, I put in so much effort, how dare they say that to me? Okay, so, and then there's probably several more. So, here's a situation, it comes up very often in our life, doesn't it? That we do something and, we put the glass upside down, they want it right side up. Yeah, and we take it personally, and then, we feel exasperated, we feel angry, resentful, depressed, running completely on automatic. We never stopped to think, like, well, what was the content of what the person said? And what was the content of it? And, can I respond to the content? But instead, immediately, we take everything as a personal comment on who we are. And then, self-grasping flares up, self-centeredness flares up, and we run out our usual pattern of emotional response, which of course triggers our usual pattern of verbal response, which is, we back away and feel sorry for ourselves. We criticize the other person. We talk about the other person behind their back, to vent our whatever we're feeling. Yeah? Do you see this in yourself? Yeah. Same situation. And it's like, when is this situation ever going to end in our life? The external situation. When is it ever going to end where no one, or put it, where everyone approves 105% of everything we did? When is that going to happen? Okay, so, we're always going to hear remarks about how to improve or what people found inconvenient or what. So it's like we have a choice. We can just continue to run on our self-centered automatic, or we can become, rev up our introspective awareness and try and change these habits. Yeah. So it's very, very helpful, in your meditation to look at what emotional habits you have. And one way to do that is to see what distracts you. Where does your mind go? Yeah, when you're not on the object of meditation, what is your mind thinking about? Okay? And you'll say, initially, well, I was thinking about, that project I was doing. You weren't thinking about the project. You were thinking about what someone else said about the project and what that meant for you and your value as a human being. Yeah, but initially, we don't even realize what we're thinking about. We think we're thinking about the project. We're actually thinking about ourselves. Okay? So we have to, look at these things and learn to recognize them. It's very helpful. Make a list, if you have to, in case you forget, other people's faults we don't need to make a list of. We always remember those. But these kinds of things, we tend to forget, that we have a problem with it. But it can be really helpful. Yeah? So just look at situations that happen, often in your life. Maybe it's another situation of somebody compliments you for something. They say, oh, good job, well done. Then immediately, what's your habit? Yeah, I'm the best one in the world, And again, we just, instead of just saying thank you, or saying, or thinking to ourselves, I was able to do that because of all the people who taught me, and encouraged me. Instead of that, we again take it personally and puff ourselves up and think that we're somebody special and that people should treat us in a certain way. And again, without even realizing it, that we've become rather arrogant. And then, of course, when we become arrogant, we're the perfect target for other people to shoot down, because nobody likes somebody who's arrogant. So then other people get angry at us, or they get jealous of us, And so that's their pattern, Every time somebody does something better than I do, or gets credit for something that I don't get credit for, it's not fair, and we get jealous. So that's that person's habit, Again, there's no awareness that this is a habit that I get jealous. It's what we think is that person had success that wasn't deserved. And that's an objective reality. We don't think, my subjective habit is every time somebody has some success or gets to do something I don't get to do, that then I get jealous. But look at it and watch how much it comes up. So that's that person running on automatic, getting jealous. Then every time somebody's jealous of us, what do? We resent, Why are you jealous of me, I'm not doing anything to try and be extra special good. Why are you criticizing me and being jealous of me? Again, what's functioning? What's our habit? Self-centered mind. Taking everything everybody does as a personal comment on who we are. And then we're resentful. Yeah? And then, people have different habits, what they do when they're resentful. Some people, when they're resentful, they get very quiet. Other people, when they're resentful, they let the whole world know. Some people compete. Some people back away, So we all have different habitual patterns that are motivated by our resentment. So we're operating on habit. The other person's operating on habit. And then we wonder why we have problems. Yeah? So it's very helpful just to look at these habits we have. So part of it is habitual ways of interpreting things. So that refers to the inappropriate awareness, how I always interpret certain things to mean this and such. This and such about me, or this and such, that's that person's motivation, and, so patterns of interpretation, and then patterns of emotional response to whatever we interpreted. Yeah, so there's two kind of patterns there. Plus a third pattern, how we act after that habitual emotional response comes. Can anybody offhand think of an example that you want to share? Or even one you don't want to share, but you're going to be brave and share it? Yes?
Well, what I've been working on since I probably before this life is anytime somebody questions me looking for information, I take it as a personal affront to my capacity. So I can't take it in as, oh yes, this would be helpful for you to know this. Here you go. It's like, oh my God, they're asking questions about what I'm doing. And that means that there's something wrong with what I'm doing. So then the doubt starts, then the sensitivity starts, the feeling starts, and then people have to like stumble over themselves to say, I'm just asking for information. So this is a pattern. And then they stop asking. And then there's all this miscommunication because they don't get the information they need to help.
Yeah. Okay. So she's saying that her pattern is whenever somebody asks a question about what she's doing, when she's in a position of leadership or whatever, or instructing people what to do, then she thinks her habitual interpretation is they're questioning my smarts and my capability, without just realizing that they're asking a question for information. She turns it into, they think I'm stupid, they think I don't know, and then the emotional response is self-doubt, defensiveness. Yeah, the words come out as defensive, and then the people stop asking because they don't like to, they're just asking a question and they're meeting with a whoa. And then people don't ask questions for the information they need, and then things get all messed up when you're trying to work together. Yeah. So living here at the Abbey helps you to see that, doesn't it? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, they want to help. Yeah.
I learned something recently, it kind of fits with this. His Holiness is writing about how even if you have a good motivation for something, unless you can see all the dependent parts of a situation, basically have wisdom about it, you're not going to do well. So I realized that was a habit of mine of like feeling like, oh, I had a good motivation for this, but then, maybe it didn't go well or this or whatever happened, but it was this kind of lack of recognition that it's not the motive, and he made a very clear example that the motivation isn't enough. Like a leader, maybe had a good motivation but didn't really know everything that was going on, it would be a mess. And I think I see that in myself, like, oh, my motivation was good, they don't appreciate me. You don't have that one, which I have. But to me, it kind of speaks to like a lack of wisdom.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a good way to show how to remedy that kind of thing. So your thing is when, you have a good motivation and you do something and it doesn't turn out as you expected and other people let you know, and then your immediate response is, they don't appreciate me. I'm working so hard and they don't appreciate what I'm doing. I can't stand them. I'm going to withdraw. And then we know. Good, because then you're sick. You check.
Actually, I know I can my emotions. I don't doubt that at all. But I don't run from those situations. I exit left or I don't. It's worse if I don't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but you very much withdraw from the community. Yeah, and you don't show up for you're not present. And so, so what you're learning is, okay, you see that habit, with the interpretation, the emotion, the behavior, and then to realize that It's not a question of those people not appreciating you and you're not being appreciated. It's a question of we're ordinary sentient beings and we don't have all the wisdom necessary to make a fantastic plan that everything goes well. And you know what? I bet you even the Buddha were here and made this fantastic plan with a good motivation. Somebody else is still going to gripe. Yeah? But to realize that, this is just, I lack the wisdom, nothing wrong with me, I'm not claiming to be a Buddha. Yeah? But, I should try and think about some of the things coming afterwards. And also recognize that whatever I do, somebody's going to not like it. Yeah?
Yeah, not take things so personally. That's where the boundaries get built up. Not that personal.
Yeah, it's not a personal thing. In fact, when people criticize, they're usually saying more about themselves than they are about you. If we can listen to the content of the criticism, we might learn something that's valuable to us. But we don't listen to the content. We just blank that out and immediately go into, inappropriate attention and emotional, stuff. But if we can stop and listen, we might learn something. And then also learn that it's nothing personal and that whatever we do, this is the way it is, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, time to fight back. So this week I had my bowl of food and there was a lot of food and Berbochini was said, I turned around and said, mind your own business. And I saw in my mind taking the bowl and throwing it in her face. And I even said, tomorrow I'm going to have a big fucking bowl. Anyway, so that's where I go. And then I go into shame.
Mm.
And yeah.
So,
I don't know why he thought of that. And I do the thinking and blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
But mind your own business.
So it's interesting. It's like first the anger to the other person, then the shame of, how you behaved, or the shame of having such a big bowl full of food? Both.
The big bowl of food, no. No, I know I eat a lot, and I didn't eat the whole thing, and it's just, it's the way it happens. Put them, I could cut it, and I like simple and fast and quick, and I just put the whole thing. So, but
Yeah.
And after that, it was to be able to drop it, because I churn and churn and churn and churn and churn.
Right.
And churn in my mind.
Okay, so that's another habit, isn't it? We ruminate.
Yeah.
Who else ruminates? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, ruminating is the path to misery, because we just go round and around. We say the same thing to ourselves every time, We're really stuck. And just ruminate and feel worse and feel more angry. And now you want to defend yourself about the comment. No.
That's not at all what I was thinking.
We know that. What did I say? Just say that when somebody criticizes, they're saying more about themselves than they are about you.
But
Yeah.
the tendency to want to say, but that's not what I was thinking at all.
That's not what I was thinking, but I was just noticing what you have in your bowl. Even though there's a precept about not looking in other people. And see, you're misunderstanding me. Yeah, and not only she understands me, but you misunderstand me too. That wasn't what I was meaning at all. Everywhere I turn, they don't understand me. That's her one, isn't it? Yeah. They don't understand me, so now I'm going to go withdraw. Okay. Okay. That's the nice thing about living together is we all know each other's habits better than we know our own habits, don't we?
Well, I feel like I just wrote you a long essay about this, like habitual. I guess for me, it's if I'm very attached to someone and I feel that they're angry or they're jealous, immediately I think I'm very bad. I have caused this. I'm like scum. I have to fix it. And I'll bend over backwards and try to fix it. And I get very angry and resentful. And then hate myself and run away.
Yeah.
And so it's just like that.
Okay, so your habit is to interpret whatever somebody's feeling as, oh, I caused it. Yeah, because she's so important. She can cause everybody to feel everything. That's how important she is, So she's the responsible for our emotions. Yeah. And then when she realizes that she's responsible, she feels lousy, she feels guilty, and she also resents us like all get out. Yeah. And then she writes me long. Okay, so these kind of habits are quite good to look at and to realize, because chances are we've been doing them for most of our lives, and we've been quite miserable due to these habits. Yeah, quite miserable. So good to notice them, try and change them. Mm-hmm.
Are these part of the innate afflictions due to the self-grasping method, or these aren't acquired, these are innate?
I think they're coming from the innate, but maybe the particular context depends on a habit developed in this life. Yeah, but the context may be that the conditions that reappear in our life, but it's coming from innate self-grasping and anger and these kind of things.
It's a bit theoretical, but it has been what I've been thinking about. Like in the book, How to See Yourself as You Really Are, we taught this beginning part of it, and His Holiness is talking about, I think it's what underlies the inappropriate attention, the exaggeration, is this grasping. But it seems like that is it not possible to see that part of it until the grosser afflictions are gone? Because I'm aware of the exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, I can get this sense of the big me that's there that's making me wrong. But I really don't feel like there's any part of my mind that can see grasping an inherent existence in any way than just the side effects.
Okay, so that requires more building up a habit in our Dharma practice, because you can see the gross affliction when it's there, but you don't stop and think, oh, there's grasping and inherent existence going on right now. So those are the times that they always recommend to stop and look at how the I is appearing to us at that time. But we usually forget, yeah? So if you hear it enough times and you try and make it a habit, oh, I'm feeling a strong emotion, let's stop and look at how the I appears. So that's building a new habit.
So you don't have to be so far along before you can see this feeling so existing on its own.
Yeah, or at least identify, oh, this is self-grasping that's causing this. Or at least identify, I'm having an affliction that's caused by self-grasping. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is where it goes into erroneous conception. Anytime there's an afflictive state of mind, this whole thing about mistaken,
Mm-hmm.
between seeing things as intentions and then grasping at
Yeah.
where we kick into them.
Yeah, all of the afflictions are erroneous minds. They're mistaken and they're erroneous. Yeah. Yeah, because they're not apprehending their object correctly. There's some kind of exaggeration. Even though we think we're seeing things right.